Here's video 3, guys, of me trying to teach you chapter 5. I have a lot of stuff up here already to kind of review of what we did last time. I wrote really lightly some of the things that girl and boy talked about last time. As far as, if you can see in blue here and here, I wrote the word exterior. Okay, I wrote them that lightly because what if I have to draw something up here to show you something? I didn't want those to be blocking it necessarily. And in the middle, really lightly, I have the word interior. Okay, that's because Ryan had showed you that the exterior was up here and down here, and Macy had showed you that the interior was in here. I also wanted to review that line A and line B, girl, are what kind of lines?
Parallel lines.
Show the boys and girls out there. Parallel lines, good. Now, boy, line C is what kind of line?
Transversal line.
This is a transversal, good. Now, I have angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 here. And we're going to talk a lot today about how they relate to each other, which ones are congruent, which is a fancy word that means equal or the same that geometry people made up, just so that we have one more term that we have to try to remember that you may not know already. But we did angles 1 and angle 2 we talked about a little bit yesterday. Those angles add up to the straight line when you put them next to each other, and we call that a straight angle. And 1 and 2 would then be what kind of angles, girl and room? What kind of angles would angle 1 and 2 be?
Alternate exterior angles.
Wah, wah. They would not be alternate exterior angles. Boy, do you know what angles 1 and 2 would be?
Those are
Just this one.
I have no idea.
supplementary angles.
Supplementary angles. Why are they called supplementary angles, Ryan?
Because they add up to 180 degrees.
They add up to 180 degrees. A straight angle is 180 degrees. Ryan gets a gold star for having that one correct. Now, 1 and 2 are supplementary because they form this one. 2 and 3 are also supplementary because they form that straight line. 3 and 4 are also supplementary because they did this one. And 1 and 4 are supplementary because they did this one. Every one of these intersections actually has 4 pairs of angles that are supplementary to each other. Okay? So this is a lot like this. Then we go into what we might call corresponding angles. Okay? And Macy, girl in room, what do you know about corresponding angles? Ryan, you hold up your corresponding angles sign also. Now, on the backs of these, you guys were assigned to write your definition of corresponding angles. Ryan, why don't you try to read me your definition first?
Oh, whoops. I don't have one.
Okay, girl, what did you do? And actually, could you come up and show me what you're going to do while you talk about your definition?
Cool. Like if you were to take each of the intersections and compared them to each other, they would be the angles that look like they're in the 2 and 6 spot.
Okay, it doesn't always have to be 2 and 6, right? Wouldn't 1 and 5 also be corresponding angles, girl?
Yeah,
And wouldn't 4 and 8 also be corresponding angles?
for sure.
And wouldn't 3 and 7 also be corresponding angles?
Yeah.
Yes, they would. Now, a little bit more in-depth vocabulary. Like I said, in here I marked this really lightly that this is the interior. Okay? And there's a vocab word we kind of have to know, and it's called alternate interior angles. Would you guys hold up that sign that says alternate interior angles? Good. And so, in the interior, on the opposite side of this line that's called the transversal, we have these angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. But we want to know what the opposite ones are. Ryan, will you let the dog out to go to the bathroom, please, real quick? She's asking to go out. Angles 3 and 5 are alternate interior angles. They're on the opposite side of the parallel lines, and they're on the opposite side of this transversal on the interior. Okay, so 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 create alternate interior angles. Then we also have a term that's called alternate exterior angles. 1, 2, 7, and 8 are in the exterior. Okay? and 1 is on the opposite side of that transversal as 7. So 1 and 7 are alternate exterior angles. Ryan, thank you for doing that. You get a gold
Hey,
star.
I did it too.
Now, good, then you can have a gold star too. Now you at home might be saying, Mr. Freeman, that doesn't look very gold. Well, that's what we call improvising, boys and girls, because that's all I had. So back to this. If I start quizzing you guys and asking you which angles and how they relate to each other, I don't think I talked about vertical angles though, did I?
No.
Okay, hold up your signs that say vertical angles.
So I get a
Girl
gold
found
star
hers
for finding
before.
it first.
Boy's really lost.
I don't have one.
So, girl
Look in
gets.
the back. Right here.
Oh.
Look, there it is. Girl gets a gold star. So, vertical angles are angles. Would you, boy, read your definition of what a vertical angle is?
Opposites of each other when two lines intersect.
Opposites of each other where two lines intersect. So, boy, where these two lines intersect, what is an example of a pair of vertical angles?
Do I go up there?
Sure.
So an example of vertical angles be 4 and 2.
Excellent. Gold star. 4 and 2 are vertical angles because these two lines intersected and they're on the exact opposite sides of them. 1 and 3 would also be vertical angles. 5 and 7, 6 and 8 are all vertical angles. So now, quiz time. Boy and girl, you're going to hold up the signs when I ask, how do angles 1 and 7 relate to each other?
Oh, that would be exterior angles.
Hold up the
Hold up
sign
the
that you
signs.
think that would be. And show it to the audience, please.
Alternate exterior angles.
Great, both of you get a gold star. Those are alternate exterior angles. And what's very common about when you have two parallel lines and they're cut by a transversal?
Oh, that's...
What is it about 1 and 7? You don't have a card for this, but what is it that's awesome about 1 and 7? What do we know?
They're the
They're
same
the same.
degrees.
What's that C word that's the critical?
Corresponding.
Corresponding is not what this is. Corresponding is like 1 and 5. 1 and 7.
Congruent.
They're congruent. That's the C word I was looking for. Very good, boy.
Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Okay, what's the relationship between 2 and 6? Hold up your sign that you think is the relationship between 2 and 6.
2 and
Girl, what are you holding up?
That is wrong.
Alternate interior angles?
That's not right.
Wah, wah.
I don't know.
Transversal. No.
Transversal's the line.
You guys are terrible at this.
Corresponding.
yeah,
This is what happens when you have guys that are off for their break for too long. They're corresponding.
I learned this
Good.
a year ago.
Okay.
I learned this in my...
How do angles 3 and 5 relate to each other?
Oh, that's
I'll just hold them all up. That way I can't get it wrong.
Let's be a little more specific, shall we? Thank you, boy. Alternate interior angles. How do angles 6 and 8 relate to each other? What's the relationship between 6 and 8? What do we have?
Vertical
That-
angle.
Yeah,
Vertical
that's right.
angles is correct. Okay, and now boy is correct now. What about angles 3 and 4? What are those kind of angles and how do they relate to each other? Good girl.
That is supplementary.
Nice job, boy. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And since we missed a lot, we're going to keep going with some more examples. How do angles 1 and 5 relate to each other?
Oh, that's easy.
Very good, boy. Okay, nicely done, girl. You had the definition for it and everything last time, and you almost forgot. What about angles
I did
2 and 8?
Outerior angles.
Out Terry.
Did you just say outerior?
Exterior.
Those are alternate exterior angles. Very good. How do angles 3 and 5 relate to each other? Alternate interior angles, getting good. How do angles 4 and 8 relate to each other? Corresponding angles is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, how about angles, what's the relationship between angle 6 and angle 5?
No, I can't do this.
What do you have, boy?
Supplementary.
Supplementary
That's
angles
my
is correct.
hand.
Always go with your first instinct. Okay, what about angle 1 and 7? Alternate exterior angles. Boy is killing girl on speed right now. It's on your other pink one. Now you got it. What about angles 4 and 6?
Oh, 4 and 6. Crap, I don't know. No,
I don't
that's
know.
no, that's no.
You got it.
Oh wait,
No, girl got it this time.
Oh,
What about
Yeah, that's it.
angles 6 and 8?
6 and 8. Vertical.
Good.
Vertical. Where's vertical?
There you go. Awesome. Okay, let's see if we can knock this percentage a little bit better. What about 3 and 7?
Oh,
Very good. Good. How about angles 4 and 6? Good. How about angle 4 and 8?
4 and 8. What is that? Oh,
This one and this one. Corresponding, right?
Yeah.
What about angles 6 and 7?
What?
6 and 7.
Oh.
You both have supplementary?
Yep.
Okay, we're getting really good now. What about 1 and 7?
Out.
Outerior. 3 and 4.
What?
3 and 4.
Wait, no.
Supplementary, right? Getting good. How about 1 and 8? Say no relation.
No,
No,
it's
no.
corresponding.
No relation.
No relation.
Yeah, no relation.
Good, I tried to trick you on that one. Good job. But I could have said 1 and 7. What would those be?
Outerior.
Alternate exterior angles. Okay, feel pretty comfortable with what we learned today. That'll lead it so that tomorrow, when we get into the rest of the stuff a little bit more in depth again, you guys will be pretty quick at figuring out what these measurements will be. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you're enjoying your time off, and hopefully you're keeping your brain running by doing some extra things. Stay away from people, practice your social distancing, stay healthy.